Alright, so this is a deck where we played it the other day and it felt kind of okay. The basic idea is just got a whole boatload of flying haste units and then a smattering of reasonably efficient interaction at the bottom end of the curve, and then some Nighthawk Scavengers to help buffer our life total against aggressive decks when paired with some of our interactions. So let's go ahead and play some games with this and see if there's any chance it feels reasonable second time through. Yeah, I was keeping tabs on Magic during the 4 months I wasn't playing, and like through the entirety of the 4 months I wasn't playing, all of the feedback on Historic was identical to the 6 months previous I had been playing, and it was just people endlessly bitching about Uro and Muxus. So I don't really intend to open that can of worms again. Basically, if I'm gonna play against designs that are kind of medium, I'd rather have them be a bunch of Eldraines than Muxus and Uro. Hey, Ghost Allison, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. We're going to lead on the Swamp here, so we don't have to commit to this just yet. Looks like we are, in fact, getting red. We're just stomping their face here and hoping to draw some running lands. Yep. This deck is playing 23, 5, 28 lands. Counting spell lands. See, I told you the title of the stream wasn't a lie, chat. You just gotta hang out and bear with me. Let's draw Heartless Act to Murderous Rider and call it a day. Opponent's deck with the ramp spell and the 2-mana artifact probably a little bit bigger and less aggressive, so having a way to kill Planeswalker sounds appealing. Alright, got 3 lands. We'll bottom the Spikefield Hazard, play Temple on 1. Yeah, Chroma feels like a neat mix of things, Assassin. We're gonna play that one on stream on Tuesday. Nah, they're a small indie project that didn't give me a, they don't have direct affiliate links, so feel free to just look them up on Steam. So I won't have anything specific for me for them. Chroma Bloom and Blight is what their game name is called. Definitely just a ramp deck. I wonder if they're playing like Vornclicks or something like that. Saw a couple of those things running, those decks running around. Right, if we hit running lands here, we play Goldspan into Zagras. Yeah, it's basically identical on the last day of the month, Steve. And we comfortably cleared my goal of 1,500 subs for January with the move back to Magic. Okay, sweet. And actually, we don't actually need to hit running lands, right? Because this is going to give us a treasure, which will let us cast this next turn regardless. Okay, this is a fair warning to my regulars. I'm going to start timing people out on site without warning. There are people that are complaining or discussing Magic's monetization system. This is going to be a positivity-focused stream from now on. Or at least if we're going to be critical, we're going to be critical about gameplay, not the monetization. The monetization is what it is, and you bitching about it's not going to change it. So don't do it in my chat. No, you're not even allowed to talk about the positives of it. I just don't want to hear about it at all. We're going to talk about the game and the other things that aren't related to the actual gameplay. I don't want to hear about it. Everything else surrounding the game is what it is, and it's not going to change. It is a pivot, Jack. Part of the reason why I decided to bail out on Magic was because there's just so much crap between the election and the pandemic and everything else in 2020 that, like, we're having a bunch of negativity surrounding the game and my job on top of everything else in the world just put me in a really bad spot in terms of my mental health. And that was part of why I bailed out. I think the way in which I ensure that I don't get back to that bad spot is to not worry about the things that don't matter. Magic's monetization doesn't matter. Nobody's getting hurt or losing their job or getting sick and dying because they can't afford Magic cards. If you don't like the pricing, go do something else. There's plenty of meaningful things that are actually important to bitch about in the world. Don't make Magic monetization one of the things you spend your time and energy on. Thanks for the 20 months, Gilger. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Spend your activism actually improving people's lives on things that really matter. The Runeterra community has a lot of parallels to the Magic community. At the end of the day, humans are humans and have a lot of similarities. And card games, and even less to humans are humans, card game players are card game players. Atlas and Ditchfield, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel this morning. Really needed a second Black Source here, huh? I guess we're doing this and then passing. I'm gonna take this trade. If I would have known they were Naive Adventures, I wouldn't have stomped their face so aggressively this game. Glad to be here, Inhuman. Thanks for keeping me around. Hopefully 2021 is going to turn around for a lot of things. Nah, I meant, speaking of focusing on positive gameplay aspects, I'm not intending to play formats that have Uro in them, Jack. So, I think I want to prioritize getting some lifelink going here. Buffer that up as opposed to hitting them sooner with Rankle. Monthly payment from Bezos to our favorite cam streamer. Thanks for the 22 months, Gamos. Good morning, good morning. Uro is legal in every non-standard constructed format, basically. Another Black Source here is excellent. It lets me both Heartless Act, the Innkeeper, to cut them off of drawing cards, as well as Rankle here. And I think with the number of cards they have in hand and how few cards we have, I want to go ahead and have us both draw here. The extra cards are more likely to be helpful to me than they are to my opponent, I think. These things having 3 power lets them very sneakily get in under Giant Slayer, which is a card the opponent's archetype tends to play, which is nice. It's a tough one to race. Hopefully we can draw another Flying Haste Orko next turn. Also, fair warning for those that have, it's been a while. Takes like Uro is reasonable in X format. I'm not going to engage with them. I'm just going to give you a 10-minute break to think about what you said. You're right. I'm sure the most played creature in every constructed format it's legal in is super manageable and fine. I'm confident that that's the case. Thanks for the 14 months, Jack. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Alright, bunch of removal spells. Shredded Sails sounds great, especially against their, not only henge, but also they had glass caskets. What are we trimming? Heart of Fire is pretty slow against anything aggressive. This is mostly for the Yorion matchups. A few more trim still. Maybe Valki's on the slow side. Yeah, Sails is good. There's a chance that Sails should be main decked, honestly. Welcome back, Doji. Happy to be here vicariously for you. You and others. Whoa, careful. Careful with the chat commands, Brackheim. I'd recommend not using mod view. It's scary. For mod view is dark and full of terrors. All right, we have the tools to murder many tiny adventure creatures, chat, and some not so tiny ones. So I know I said last game I made a mistake by stomping their dome onto, but this hand has so many pieces of removal in it that I am gonna stomp their dome onto. I think knowing that they're on Naya with this hand, I still want to do it. Big Hug Bug, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I think I'd rather Scavenger. I was gonna hit this and then smack them for 4, but I think I'd rather get Scavenger going sooner. But for my life total to start. Opponent's deck draws a lot of cards, but also applies a lot of pressure. So getting Life Link going ASAP seems valuable. I'm just passing for now. We'll get to end step, shred the casket. Then we'll get the Scavenger back. Let's draw them 4 cards. Yeah. I think we're supposed to just pass here. I don't think I can play this proactively. Not using our resources feels real bad though. We just like don't have enough cards in hand really to be able to use the Bonecrusher Giant proactively with how high their life total is. Scavengers up to 4 attack here, which means if they have Giant Killer, they can chop it down. Oh. The auto tapper do us a solid. I think I'm holding on to this for now. I don't really need a 7th mana. If we draw another black source, we could use this as a spell. If we draw a 2nd Awakening, we'll probably play the first one out. But as of right now, I think it's correct to hold on to this. Anybody else feeling a little thirsty, chat? Infamous, thanks for the brain new tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Good morning. Chat's always thirsty for a Bloodchief, something like that. Something I wish Arena would add that other digital card games do, is I wish I could zoom in and see just the artwork on these cards, because some of the art on Magic is so great. I'd like to be able to see a big full picture of it instead of just a slightly bigger card. There's a lot of neat designs in Kaldheim to Candio, but a lot of them are overshadowed by Eldraine stuff. Like, I would bet if there's a big new deck to come out of the set, it's this Naya Adventures deck. I feel like I'm supposed to kill this. I guess if I... So, like, the problem with not killing this is... they can play Great Henge next turn. They're getting close to playing Great Henge anyways, though, right? Because it's 9 -1. Alright, yeah, I'm going to Bloodchief Thirst, kill this. They'll diddle this in response. Then we'll play Goldspan Dragon and attack them. I don't know, we'll see. It's early. I've got a few ideas I want to work on still. And other things that we tried already that I'd like to tune some more, so I'm not... I think it's definitely a little bit too early to write everything off, but so far, educated guesses would indicate that that's probably the case. It's not new. It's newly competitive would be an accurate descriptor, though. Like, sure, you're correct that it was a thing that technically existed beforehand, but, like, it wasn't nearly as good. The Sultai Snow deck was bonkers. Maybe. That's what I want to try some more of. The Snow deck, and this, and the Blue-Red Flash are the 3 decks that have stuck out to me so far that I want to play more of. We can Egdems with the treasure. I'm gonna get Heartbeats down first since we drew that, so that way if they kill this, I can get it back as well with Awakening. But yeah, Dragon ramping you up to let you bring back 5 and 6 drops conveniently with this is very good. There's a Snow deck on Stream Decker. It's on my YouTube channel. You can always find all the deck lists that we've played in the video descriptions on my YouTube channel. youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. Hidden Flame, thanks for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So this will hopefully be a Lethal Awakening next turn then. Oh, I need a land, right? I'm 1 mana short of... I need an untapped land. Nailed it. Never didn't have it. It's not quite the Rankle coming back too, but like it's a close second. All right, game the third. How have the Foretold cards been performing? There's a few Foretold cards that are playable for sure, but I don't think Foretold as a mechanic is particularly interesting from a constructed perspective. I mean, that's like the motto of this deck, basically. This deck goes burr. It's just got a bunch of flying haste threats to smack people around with. So, with their glass caskets and stuff, is Scavenger actually good? Would I rather have Phoenix over Scavenger? I think I'd rather have Phoenix over Scavenger for the hastiness. Our goal is basically like use our health totals a little bit of a resource, spend some removal spells, and attack them in the air a bunch. As someone who's spent decades inside of the Magic community, Infamous Nez, I don't think it's possible to communicate or bridge that gap at this point, and at this point, I'm giving up, and I'm not going to spend time or energy on it or have it in my spaces. So, to be blunt, no, I don't think it's possible, and I don't intend to try anymore. A big part of my burnout and what pushed me to take a break was caring too much. And in caring the amount that I did, it definitely made me negative, and it made me feel bad and put me in a bad place mentally on top of everything else that's going on in the world. This is a great draw to curve out here with. So my approach as I come back is definitely going to be, hey, let's focus on the game itself. That's what we have control over. That's the part we're looking to have fun with, and the rest of it is what it is. That's probably a tapped Mauling turn. I think that we're going to want that to be a land this game. I guess it could be right to play Awakening tapped and save this as a removal spell. I might want a third and fourth copy of Shredded Sails in my sideboard for these henges and these glass caskets and stuff. Hey, thanks for the 25 months, Brackheim. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Yeah, we started with Big Red this morning and ended up concluding that I didn't feel like playing more of it. So worth playing around Henge and killing the Lovestruck Beast. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, I agree with you. I should do that. Hey, Brim, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Hoaglandia this morning. So, got enough cards in the bin to escape the bird back, which is nice. This card's a really sweet mid-range threat. Like, it's evasive, it gives you something to dump your mana into, it only escapes for a few cards, so you're able to apply pressure with it and bring it back really consistently early. Love it. Has Jeff ever played D&D? The last time I played Dungeons & Dragons was close to a decade ago at this point. So I was still an undergrad and we were playing 3.5. Five lands in play and Mauling still costs 3. That's good stuff. Yikes. They're playing Conquer's Death. Okay, I think at this point they're low enough that I'm stepping on their face here and then playing this out as a threat. I don't think the big red deck is playable in general. The big red deck did not seem competitive against the Cleave aggressive decks, and it did not feel reasonable against the Yorion control decks, which at that point it's like, well, what are you doing with yourself? Hey, Apple Pies, thanks for the 1.5 years. Welcome back. Oh, really need another Flying Haste threat at this point. I don't know that we're going to have the ability to close out here. We're going to get something back with this in a second. Honestly, Bonecrusher's been a little underwhelming so far this set for us. We played the 2-drop Dragon Boast unit with First Strike last time we played this, and I've kind of been missing that. I wonder if that's better than Bonecrusher. Maybe we'll go back to playing that for the next match or two. I feel like that proactive threat that had an activated ability that demanded an answer would definitely been. I guess it would have just gotten stepped on the couple of games that we played here. They must have another chop down, huh? Vanu, thanks for the 22 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Ooh, you know who doesn't get chopped down? Rankle. Rankle's stat line is really good in this matchup. It dodges both chop down and stomp. It dodges Glass Casket too, right? Yeah, their removal is super awkward against this card. Rankle's pretty great in general. I feel like I would like to, this could be a card I would like to explore. Like, is there like a Rankle, is there a Rankle Demonic Embrace black aggressive deck in this format? What could we do with that? I feel like those two cards together sound lovely. What's our second color for Rankle Demonic Embrace? This is lethal. Scourge of the Skyclaves is not a playable Magic the Gathering card. Got me. Yeah, definitely not in Standard. Maybe in formats like Historic or Modern, where Shocklands exist. Alright, flying haste creatures, still seeming pretty good. I think I want a third Shredded Sails at least in the sideboard. Killing Henge seems fine. Yeah, flying haste go burr sounds nice. I like it a lot. I'm not convinced that Nighthawk Scavenger is a card we want to play either. It's very possible that like this should just be some more interaction like Murderous Rider, perhaps. Rider's also a touch of lifelink as well. This is like another evasive threat, which is nice, but it's also not haste. So it's hard for it really to go burr too hard. We can split the difference on Nighthawk Scavenger and Murderous Riders in the main deck for the time being. And see how we feel about it after a little bit. Just coward split it for a few games and see how that goes. Gives me a slot in the sideboard for Shredded Sails nicely as well. Quiet Kieran, thank you for the 20 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Mauling's been kind of mixed. I cut the third Mauling for a 19th land. I could see it being right going down another Mauling for another land here. Untapped lands are busted. Especially with Awakening. We played it as a removal spell a couple of times. It's been fine. I don't know about good, but fine. Fine is accurate. Ooh, we could play Rankle with God of Fright as the top end. We played God of Fright in something the other day and it was reasonable. Yeah, let's do that. I like that idea. I'm gonna play this for a little bit yet, but after this, let's do God of Fright Rankle. I like that idea. Good suggestion. Mono black or black X? Up for discussion. Alright, so we're getting dragons next turn, which means I think I want to hold up Heartless Act. I guess they could do this technically. They had to pick between dragon and these two. Friends Optic. Although I guess once I kill their dragon, they're going to get a treasure, which lets them play this. Alright, if we draw an untapped land next turn, we're in a very reasonable spot. If we brick on a land, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Morning Melodic. Stomp this before it gets too big to stomp. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. Do 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 do. Our title is definitely accurate. There is no lie here. Alright, we can dodge an Ember Cleave, we can dodge a ball, chat. It has haste and it makes our treasures tap for 2. If we would have hit our 5th land on curve this game, I think we would have been able to win that because we would have been able to race them efficiently, but the fact that we missed our land drop meant that we just didn't have the tools we needed to be able to race cleave appropriately. To bring in shredded sails, a couple extra pieces of removal. Trim this at the very top end, maybe. I got a mulligan that with no 3rd land. This is fine. We have to go tapped land. We have to go tapped land into tapped land Spikefield something into untapped land Phoenix. Perfect. And then if we find another untapped land, we get to go Phoenix into Rankle. I think I want to just kill their threat here. This card, Usher here, lets them get to start going wide for free to make their cleave better. Hey, happy Sunday, Wasatch. I think we're on blocking duty. We even have the answer to cleave this game, but it probably doesn't matter because I think the tempo they're going to gain here from this is just too much. They're going to knock us to 14, and then, even though I have the answer, we're just too far behind in terms of everything else. They get to hit us for 4 again, and we're just not advancing our board this turn. Yep. That was our freebie. Good beats. See, chat, skillfully put your losses in the place where you don't lose rank for losing at them. Yeah, Magic released a new set on Thursday. House Dad, so decided to pop back in. I've also been Leesened and Fiora'd enough times in the current Runeterra format to last a lifetime, so hopefully there's changes coming for one or both of those on Wednesday for that game's patch. Interested to see what the patch notes say on Tuesday. I think a lot of the Wellspring decks are like red, black, or Jund sacrifice decks on average right now. Crusher sounds lovely. Nah, you should never feel bad as a player for playing a deck like Tybalt's Trickery. It's not the player's job to make sure their opponent has a fun experience, it's the game designer's job. So, Tybalt's Trickery is there, and if you enjoy playing Tybalt's Trickery, you can and should play it. Play what you want and enjoy the game how you want. So this has the if it would die exile it clause, so we get to Spikefield this, so we're gonna get 2 for 1 by this, but it at least gets exiled, which is nice. Honestly, Captain, I would rather play against Uro than Leeson or Fiora. At least Uro tends to be grindy. And things like Leeson and Fiora in Runeterra feel worse, in my opinion, than the offensive things in Magic feel, because there's no sideboards in that game for you to be able to, like, sideboard to have a better chance at least. I also don't think comparisons like that are particularly useful. I think when people do comparisons like that, we're like, well, which of these 2 bad things do you think is the most bad? It's like, well, they can both be bad, but for slightly different reasons. You don't need to, like, make these weird, like, mine's less bad, so it's fine type comparisons are nonsense, I think. Just ruined your day, and Chris Bacon, thanks for the follows. Welcome to Hoaglandia this morning. Yeah, it's 100% that. It is definitely a whataboutism. Is a good catch / call. I think I'd rather get Chandra down than Goldspan here. Because if they Croxa me next turn, I'd rather have this left over to draw a bunch of cards with. Subpar Nova, thank you for the 1.5 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And Niv, thank you for the 33 months. Good morning, good morning. For reference, if you haven't played Runeterra before, Lee Sin and Fiora are like linear combo cards that are difficult to interact with, generally speaking. And like I said, that game doesn't have sideboards. Like, sideboards in Magic make up for a lot of the more offensive things that the game does, because if you don't want to lose to the offensive thing, you can at least position your sideboard in a way that makes it so it's less likely for you to lose to that in the post-board games. Being able to bring in Artifact Destruction against Cleave, Graveyard Hate against Kroxa, stuff like that. Yeah, Runeterra will post patch notes on Tuesday, and the patch will go live on Wednesday. You stole my toy. That's rude.
Use them or lose them.
I've always been a big fan of Mux's personally. Listen, you're entitled to your subjective opinion, however rancid it may be. Yeah, this card's super strong. For sure. Especially with free sacrifice outlets like Ghost Rider. I mean, enjoying Muxus isn't really a you're wrong type situation. That's a super, super subjective measurement. So I have to attack next turn. Goldspan is really good. This is probably my pick for best card out of the new set. As far as favorite cards go, it's either this or the World Snake. Okay, so I'm going to... Huh? If I Murderous Rider this, they don't gain 4? Oh, I could pump the birds so they trade? Yeah, that's the line. Yeah, that's definitely the line. Alright, the people in chat talking about necessary evils and things like Muxus being necessary and good designs. This is your warning to move off of that topic. What's up, Jacob? How long's it been working? Not for a while, bud. Not for a while. Many hours, bud. Mommy's upstairs and she's not working today if you need help with something, okay? Let's say 4 hours, okay? Love you. Well, none of those were the removal spell for cracks I wanted for Christmas. I don't actually know if I'm going to be live for 4 more hours. He just wanted an answer. I've yet to decide exactly how long we're going to be live for today. I think I hold this back because I don't want them to be able to draw a removal spell and kill my Chandra. Also lets me do this. Rough. That's fine. We get four shots at a card to kill this again next turn. Well, poop. So the play is Murderous Rider. Yeah, the play is Murderous Rider, and then if they brick, we kill them with Phoenix next turn, right? So you see the brick on top of their deck? Thanks for the 2.5 years, by the way, Slewy. I think I might have missed that one. Alright, Chandra's dead. You've killed her.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go do something else.
So if this isn't a removal spell, they're dead to escape Phoenix Bump with our Dragon. Doesn't really matter.
Fine, I'm leaving.
Full critical official. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. All right, wow, we beat the Crocs deck game 1. Feels good. Murderous Rider notably felt very reasonable there. Got a bunch of Soul Guide Lanterns and some Cling to Dust here in the sideboard. Chandra instrumental in allowing us to grind that out there for sure. I think Nighthawk Scavenger is a cut here against their deck that's stealing my stuff. Heartless Act could maybe be okay. What am I getting rid of here? What does Bonecrusher Giant kill in this matchup? Anything meaningful? It kills Woe Strider. Is there anything else they're playing that this card kills? Yeah, look, no numbers. You're correct that I could have used both my treasures to bring back a Nighthawk if I wanted to. Mire Triton. I don't think that's enough to warrant keeping this in. Mauling's a little slow. I think I have enough lands that I can cut that. Got 20 plus 3 plus 4 is 27 still. Need one more cut here. I don't think I want to cut any of my aerial threats. It's just Valki. Valki tagging Crocs is actually pretty good, though. Maybe it's a Zagras. This is usually my trim because it's just expensive. Think of Zagras at the top end of our curve as like Goldspan Dragons 5, 6, and 7. Gucci, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Yes, you can always find my current rank by typing !rank in chat. Stands fine. Not amazing, but fine. Turf Doctor, thanks for the follow. Punished for playing Spikefield on 1. Albert, thanks for the 26 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Do I have enough cling to get rid of this down the line? You can also type record to learn more about how the deck we're currently playing is going to. I don't put the record on the overlay, but the record command will help you understand where we're at. So definitely Bloodchiefing the Mire Triton here. I think the game plan is cross our fingers a little bit and hope that Cling to Dust gaining us a little bit of life is going to buy us enough time to race them in the air. Hey, Gray Bear, thank you for the entire year of support. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. It's our best draw here, like another Phoenix. Crusher's pretty bad for us. Probably have to pump the brakes at this point. Definitely not winning this race. They're gaining life and they have way more power than we do. Bottom's up. You love to see it. Another Bonecrusher Giant's going to be lethal. Claim is also lethal. It's fine. Let's take the next game on the plate. Bonecrusher could be better with the 3/1. Maybe? I don't know. What am I cutting? Yeah, I've got Spikefield. I think I'd rather have these effects to kill their larger things. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. Let's just do the busted thing and be on the play for game 3. Zagras is important for being able to close. You're right that Zagras is slow for playing defense, but the idea is that we're not playing defense. Morning, Slayman. The idea with Zagras is similar to the idea with Dragon, where we play a couple of removal spells to start, and then we play a couple of removal spells in the mid-game. We play a couple of threats in the mid-game and curve out into faster, more high-powered things at the top end that can fly over the top of them. Morning, Dr. Mister. I try. Yeah, like this seems super reasonable, right? Do need a 4th land, I suppose, but a few steps to draw that. Perfect. Oh, this has to exile a card? Oh, that's so bad. I definitely wasn't expecting to exile my own card there. Awkward. Larwin Soldier, thank you for the 29 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Good morning. Yeah, and this is the type of game where Zagras can have potential in it. Where, we weren't under a lot of pressure, we have a touch of interaction, and we can play our flying creatures out, hit them in the air. Hey, Chill Shades, thanks for the 23 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Speak of the devil and he will appear. He's also and this is a reason, so I trimmed some of the Nighthawk Scavengers, but that could be wrong because Nighthawk makes Zagras cheaper as well. So Rankle and the Scavenger both make this a 5-drop, which is nice. Yeah, it's unfortunate. So the play is kill the Ghost Rider. Then if they don't have another sack outlet, they have to get rid of this now. This card being Doomblade Plus is just so strong. Unfortunate we drew running temples as our lands here at the end. I think I have to keep that so that way I can Zagras next turn. No, that's actually wrong, right? Because if I Zagras next turn, this will kill it. I guess the untapped land here means I can play this and double pump the Phoenix. Which puts them to 4, and then Zagras can close the turn after, perhaps. So this has to attack. This is going to make our things deal damage equal to their power to themselves next turn. I think I just let this happen, and then I play lands Zagras post-combat, because this only makes our tapped creatures deal damage to themselves. And this would have been forced to attack, because it has haste if I would have played it pre-combat. Hey, thanks for the 5 months, Fabricator. I'm glad you enjoyed the YouTube stuff. Thanks for dropping off the Prime. I wouldn't be here without folks like you. If you force the sack, it killed the Predator too, though. Now, that's not how Magic works at all. They get an untap step at the start of their turn, Snipery. Yeah. This card would be bad if it killed your stuff. I'm gonna retire this one too. Okay, I think I'm off it. I don't know, it just feels a little bit too slow and clunky overall. Let's try and build a Rankle deck, huh?